YouTubers! Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Unemployment lifts to 12-month high, full-time jobs fall, and that's happening in Australia, guys. Australia is going to be the first nation to fall when it comes to the social justice credit scores and all that takeover and all that jazz. And it's going to be followed by New Zealand, and then the UK, then Canada, and then last but not least, the United States of America. That's just my theory, and that's when the Constitution becomes eradicated, or enough people are out there to say, oh, it's an old Constitution, my feelings are hurt, we got to get rid of it. So keep that in mind, folks. The nation's jobless rate climbed to 5.3% in August, its highest level in a year after 15,500 full-time jobs disappeared across the country. The Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS, on Thursday reported that the 0.1 percentage point lift in the unemployment rate on the more stable trend measure, the jobless rate is now increased every month since February. Oh, that's not good. You want unemployment down, not up. The forward indicators of job markets have been pointed to the drift up in the jobless rate, which the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, has said it needs to fall at least 4.5% to start putting upward pressure on wages. The ABS said total employment lifted 34,700 in August. However, it was due to 50,200 surge in part-time employment. Remember, guys, in the Southern Hemisphere, it is spring, so you will have a lot of part-time employment. No contracts, no nothing. Come and work part-time, and we could kind of boot you around when we need to. Or if you misbehave, we'll just send you back to your country, because a lot of these part-time jobs are only hiring immigrants. This way, what happens is that the local Australian could form a union, and they don't want that, right? The total number of people out of work lifted by 4,100 and now sits at 716,800, its highest number since April last year. The underutilization rate, which points at the amount of slack in the job markets, also increased 13.8%. That's like the lash in the market, a little bit of a lash in the market, or play in the market. New South Wales defined the increase with unemployment in the nation's biggest job market falling from 4.4% to 4.3% in Western Australia. The act also fell 0.1 percentage points to 5.8% to 3.5% respectively. Unemployment has risen to a 12-month high. Oh, there it is, guys. Yes, sirree, Bob. It is happening. Look at back in 2000. Whew. I guess this was more transparent back in the day. Nowadays, it probably should be up here, to be realistic, way up here. But I guess they have ways of, it's like I said, what if we wanted to audit this? What if I wanted to sit down with some people and audit these numbers? Nothing's really transparent. We don't really know what's going on. That's the problem. We're not supposed to know what's going on. We're on a need-to-know basis, or just kind of try and find something that hurt your feelings and worry about that, But it lifted sharply in South Australia from 6.9% to 7.3%, and Tasmania for 6% to 6.4%, and rose 0.1 percentage point in Victoria to 4.9% in Northern Territory. To 5.1%, it was steady in Queensland at 6.4%. The figures will put pressure on the RBA to consider an interest rate cut at its October given meeting of the importance. Why? Because they want companies to borrow for less and get more in debt, and they want lending to be more, either they get rid of, they scrap the stress test, or they lower interest rates. So they're going to have to figure something out, because there's no new fresh blood coming into the market. It's a big game is what it is. Markets this week lifted with a chance of a cut rate of 43% to 25% after the RBA admitted it yet to see strong evidence that the government's tax cuts were finding their way into the economy after the jobless data that odds doubled to 80%. Wow. The RBA is likely to be disappointed by the gradual rise in unemployment, and given its focus on the labor market was expected and will be enough to prompt it's to cut rates again in the October meeting, ANZ senior economist Felicity Emmett said. Well, they're going to have to lower rates, because I prefer them to raise rates and start putting the economy back on track. If the economy's doing well and everyone's getting into the markets, the housing markets, people are thriving in Australia, they should be raising rates, not lowering rates. You want to look good on the world platform, that you got a strong interest rate and people could count on your country and blah blah blah. Lowering interest rates is not going to bring back the loss of economy, the loss of um, production. Lowering rates won't bring back direct production, and lowering rates won't bring. Australia is very hinged right now on its exports of iron ore. So this is not looking good right now, and it's not looking good because the more of these jobs that get lost and the more part-time jobs that get created. Part-time jobs is good for employers because they don't have to worry. You don't have to put someone in a contract. They don't have to pay them certain benefits when people work less hours. So when Obamacare was implemented and your employer was supposed to pay for Obamacare for you if you work full-time, half of America went to part-time pretty much overnight because they didn't want to pay, companies didn't want to pay for Obamacare. So think of it like that, guys. So there's a lot going on in the back end, and for us to audit this, it's a joke. We'll never find out anything. So anyone that tells you they know, they really probably have an idea of kind of what's going on. Kind of me talking like right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think down in Australia. If you are down under, and I know you're down under because a lot of people watch me down under, let me know in the comments below. What is the job market looking like? What does it look gloom? Does it look bright? Does the future look bright? It's springtime. We're going to keep a pulse on the housing market spring sales and see where it goes from there. Thanks for watching Mike Martin's channel here. Thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to support me on Patreon if you want to donate $1 per month. Thank you so much.